Shalom. Welcome back to another Sins of San Diego. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. We're going to jump right into this one, right? We got to talk about Peso Pluma because Issachar crazy as hell, right? Let's go to Jeremiah 28, verse 8. And hey, don't be offended, Northern Kingdom brothers. I want to start there too. Y'all crazy, right? This stuff going on in Tijuana, we got to deal with it. Read.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
So the prophets that came in the past, they prophesied of the evil that was going on in their city. They talked about it. They dealt with it because the men and the women of Israel also had wickedness going on too. I know we're going to touch on some of the history on Sins of San Diego, things that have happened in the past in this very city, and we're going to touch on some things that have happened in the that are going to happen in the future. But currently, right now, Peso Pluma under some fire. They are on his head, man. We're going to see what's going on with him. Let's go ahead and go to that first TikTok. Let's see what's going on with Peso Pluma. If y'all don't know Peso Pluma, he's a big artist, right? He's a big artist right now in Mexico and in North America. Let's hit play.
If you guys haven't heard what's going on right now, there's some really big news regarding this guy here, Peso Pluma, young Mexican musician who arguably is becoming the biggest thing in Mexico and even in North America. But it seems like he is in some really deep doo-doo. So the thing is about Peso Pluma, what makes him so popular is that he's kind of regarded as a guy who's been reviving narco corridos. Narco corridos is essentially Mexican folklore, storytelling music that focuses around the lives and actions of the cartels and narcos. Which is fine.
Hold on, wait, pause.
The cartels love
what he's doing is he's glorifying gangster music, right? He'd be no different than what you would call mafioso rap and hip hop. Everything that's happened before, he's rapping about it, right? He's making songs about murder of our people, the drug selling, the drug dealing. This is what he's pushing in his music. That's how they use our people, right? Give me 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 33. That's how they use our people. Our people, we push our own destruction. So this guy, Peso Pluma, is pushing destruction music to his people, right? Read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
That's what's going to happen to these young kids that have narcos corridos in their mind. They're going to be corrupted. They're going to hear about all the things that El Chapo used to do and how he used to wave the gun and how he used to sell crack and do this and that, right? That's what they're going to hear, and they're going to want to become that. That's the problem with this evil communication. Proverbs 12 and verse 26 real quick, and we're going to go right back to the video. This evil communication is the death of many of our people. It's the destruction of many of our people. Shoot, we're going to find out it might be Peso Pluma death pretty soon if he keep playing with fire. Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them.
The way of the wicked seduces the righteous. Why? Because they continue to see the behaviors of the wicked over and over again. And they think, hey, man, that's the way I need to go. There's prosperity in being wicked. That is the mindset of many of our young men. And Peso Pluma is pushing that and reviving that. So it's not a good thing that he's becoming one of the biggest artists. Let's hit play, though.
Love it, but it's only fine until you start saying things that they don't like. In this case, he talks a lot about El Chapo and the Sinaloan cartel. He talks about them in his music. He at one point, I think, had a performance where the entire crowd was chanting El Chapo's initials, and that did not go over well with the CGNG. And just yesterday, they dropped banners all over Jalisco in short saying, hey, if you perform on October 14th in Tijuana, we're going to lay you out. And historically, this is actually a pretty common occurrence when it comes to cartels and musicians, at least when it comes to narco corridos. Chalino Sanchez in the 1990s is probably the most recognizable story when it comes to one of these. This right here is his last performance in which he is performing after getting a note on stage saying, hey, if you perform, we're going to lay you out. He still performs anyways, and the next day his body was found. I actually have a video explaining the entire thing if you want to go and check it out. CJNG actually even did this a few years ago with a Mexican YouTuber. The kid got in over his head, and he was in Jalisco at a bar talking about El Mencho, talking all that smack. If I remember correctly, they didn't even give him a warning. They showed up later that day to the bar, and they got him in the bar. They didn't take him up anywhere. They didn't kidnap him. Nope, they just did it right there in the bar. Now, it is important to say that, ironically, he is from Jalisco, Peso Pluma, which is also where the CJNG is from as well. They're actually called the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. But from what I'm able to gather, he actually has some family in Sinaloa from his mother's side, so that kind of explains a lot. But this is a very, very realistic situation, very sticky one as well. So I don't really know what would be the answer here. He hasn't said anything yet. Does he perform? Does he not? Let me know.
So now, looking at that situation, you can see there's a pattern. You say anything against the cartel, you get put to death. If you play around with them, it's over for you. Let's dig into a little bit and let's see who these two cartels are, right? Because maybe you're not from around San Diego or Tijuana. You're not familiar with what's going on when you hear CJNG, right? And you hear the Sinaloan cartel. You're like, huh? What did that got to do with anything, right? So let's read this. You got the Jalisco New Generation Cartel here.
Jalisco New Generation Cartel. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel is a Mexican organized crime syndicate.
Or CJNG, right? Call that out.
Excuse me. Or CJNG, formerly known as Los Matazetas, is a Mexican organized crime syndicate based in Jalisco, which is headed by Nemesio Usugure Cervantes, one of the world's most wanted drug lords.
So you got El Mencho is the leader of this cartel. Go ahead.
The cartel has been characterized by its aggressive use of extreme violence in its public relations campaigns. Although the CJNG is particularly known for diversifying into various types of criminal rackets, drug trafficking, primarily cocaine and methamphetamine, remains its most profitable activity. The cartel has also been noted for cannibalizing some of its victims, sometimes during the training of new sicarios or cartel members, as well as using drones and rocket-propelled grenades to attack its enemies.
Look up the word cannibalizing. Let's look up cannibalizing.
Cannibalism. Cannibalism is the act of consuming another individual of the same species as food.
So when they introduce new people into this cartel, they've been known to eat people. Jump back. Let's go back to that. I just want to call that out so we can understand the level of wickedness that's going on in the CJNG. Go ahead.
As of 2020, the CJNG is generally considered by the Mexican government to be the most dangerous criminal organization in Mexico and the second most powerful drug cartel in the country after the Sinaloa cartel.
So if you're second, your desire is what? If you're the second in wickedness, your desire is to be first. That's what's going on here, right? So you understand. So Peso Pluma, he is talking about the Sinaloan cartel. Let's go to the Sinaloan cartel now. Let's see about them a little bit. Let's read that.
Sinaloa cartel. The Sinaloa cartel. Cartel de Sinaloa, CDS, after the native Sinaloa region, also known as the Guzman Zambada Organization, the Federation, the Blood Alliance, or the Pacific Cartel, is a large international organized crime syndicate that specializes in illegal drug trafficking and money laundering. It was established in Mexico during the late 1980s as one of a various number of subordinate plazas, operating under a predecessor organization known as the Guadalajara Cartel. It is currently headed by Ismael Zambada Garcia and is based in the city of Culiacan, Sinaloa, with operations in many world regions, but primarily in the Mexican states of Sinaloa, Baja California, Durango, Sonora, and Chihuahua, and presence in a number of other regions in Latin America as well as in cities across the U.S. The United States intelligence community generally considers the Sinaloa cartel to be the largest and most powerful drug trafficking organization in the world, making it perhaps even more influential and capable than Pablo Escobar's infamous Medellin cartel of Colombia was during its prime. According to the National Drug Intelligence Center and other sources within the U.S., the Sinaloa cartel is primarily involved in the distribution of cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, fentanyl, cannabis, and MDMA.
All right, let's go to 1 Timothy now. Let's look at this. 1 Timothy chapter 6, and I think I want to start at verse 7. What you see going on with the cartels is greed, right? I know the people start off in poverty, but ultimately it goes back to greed. They first started saying, we need a way to make money, right? And Esau, we know, brought the drugs into the country and gave them ways of bringing it, because they can't cross the border patrol without some assistance. We know that. Their drugs are coming in through San Diego. They're not able to push them internationally without some type of assistance or somebody looking the other way, right? So over time, what has happened here is there's becoming a whole government that is being driven by what the cartels do. The entire society, if you ever been to Tijuana, the cartels basically run things. And what our people are not able to do is stand up and say, this is wrong, and this is why it's wrong. 1 Timothy chapter 6, and we're going to start at verse 7. Let's read.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out.
You see how people don't know this? Because they willing to kill over money, over status, over how much they can gain. Start at verse 6 now. Jump up.
Verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain.
We don't have that mindset to be content with what the Lord has given us and understand that's great gain. We want more and more and more. That's how you get a cartel that's willing to eat people, sell drugs, kill their brothers. That's how you get multiple cartels willing to do these things. Go ahead.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
Read.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare.
You see what's going on with Peso Pluma and the cartels? They fall into temptation and a snare. I want more. I want more. I can't just have this. I need more. More. Go ahead.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Read.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
The love of money is the root of all the evil that you see taking place when we read these stories. The fact that a brother can't go and perform, right, because he going to get put to death over a cartel, it shows you the mindset that the people have. Yo, you ain't even going to come here and talk about this. We'll put you to death. We'll kill you, bruh. And when they talk about killing you, the cartel ain't talking about just killing you. They talking about getting rid of everything connected to you. So these are the type of threats being put on our people for music. Because people want money and they want status. It shows you how far we have fallen as a people. Go ahead.
Which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
Okay, give me Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. Because these ain't old men that you see doing this. You ain't looking at this situation and the man is 100 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old, and they out here, yo, I'm going to kill you. Nah, these is young men. This is a young artist. It's a young man there. What does the Bible say about how our young men have become? Read that.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors.
Children are their oppressors. Read it one more time.
As for my people, children are their oppressors.
Go ahead.
And women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err.
See, the children are leading the people down in Tijuana, even in Mexico when it comes to some of these gangs, even in San Diego, right? What you can see is that the children are the ones caught up on this. Because I didn't know who Peso Pluma was till I came across this article. The young kids, though, they know who he is. They know what he's singing about because they're oppressing each other. They're oppressing the older men. They're oppressing the older women. They're the ones saying, you're going to get put to death if you come down here singing about this. These are the type of things that are going on in our community that we got to address. These are the sins that are going on right under your nose in San Diego and Tijuana, and no one's paying attention to them. They're like, oh, everything's all good. Give me first Ezra's, I think, 5 and 48, where it talks about they bring forth monsters. This is the problem that we got. These children have become monsters where they could say to a brother singing, yo, I'm going to put you to death if you come through here. It's a rap. Don't even show up. Read that.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Yes, sir, that's it.
There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
There we go. That's what I wanted. Menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. They brought forth destructive children that are willing to kill men over what they sing about, over them needing some sort of status, not realizing as a people they're all in poverty. The whole tribe of Issachar is going through poverty. The whole country is a third world country. Get it together, y'all. Y'all about to kill each other over some words, over a song. This is the mindset that you see throughout the 12 tribes of Israel. This stupidity that you see throughout the 12 tribes of Israel. Give me Jeremiah, I think it's 4 and 22. We are wise to kill each other and destroy each other and put each other to death, but we don't got a mind to say, how do we actually build together? How do we get our people out of oppression for real? Not just a couple dollars off of murdering and killing and we got to duck the cops and everything like that. How do we actually build sustainable communities and future for our people? Read that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil.
That is how we are. We are foolish children, and we wise to do evil. Give me the next video now. Let's see, man. It's another brother from the tribe of Issachar, I believe, right? I could be wrong, right? Northern Kingdom brother, and he's talking about the situation from his perspective. This is how he feels looking at this.
Las Cuatro Letras have officially issued a warning to Peso Pluma saying that October 14th, which is his show in Tijuana, Mexico, could be his last. You can see right here, they left this sign right here over the bridge. And still no word on Peso Pluma, but this is kind of what it says. Esto va para ti, Peso Pluma, meaning that this is right here is for Peso Pluma. You're set to perform on 14th of October, but that one right there, bro, don't pull up to it because blank, blank, you already know what's going to happen, my boy. If I were you, fool, I would not pull up to that, fool. That's nothing to joke around with, my boy. And he already knows that, fool.
So now, he told them, if I was you, I wouldn't even pull up to that. Give me Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1. Look how far we've fallen as a people. He telling them, yo, they're going to kill you, bro. Don't pull up. Rather than having this mindset, read that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he has seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
Look how many people are just silent. They know who's going to do the shooting. They know who coming for them. They know what Sicario going to pull a hit off. They know this, but they're not willing to say anything. They're not willing to stand up for the righteousness of God. Give me that in Exodus chapter 20. It's a simple commandment that many of us learn. It's commandment number 6, in case you're wondering. Let's read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
That ain't complex. We learned that when we was kids. Yo, thou shalt not kill. Okay. Where does that go, though, when this situation comes up? He said, yo, bro, I won't pull up, my boy. They going to kill you. And I guarantee his grandmother is a Catholic. I guarantee it. I guarantee their grandmothers is Catholic. They go to church every Sunday. How come grandma's not saying, thou shalt not kill? It's because the women that rule over them have allowed them to oppress the community. Give me Leviticus 19 and 17. It'll be a simple fix if we could just say, thou shalt not kill, my brother. Or if we could apply this, Leviticus 19 and 17.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any
They're
wise...
brothers. They're from the same tribe. Not alone, let alone the same nation, but the same tribe of people. Go ahead.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
You're supposed to correct your brother. Say, yo, you going off in this, you going off in that. Not kill him for singing on songs. Not say we're going to murder you if you pull up to my city. So imagine if that brother had the mindset to correct his neighbor. Imagine if the whole tribe of Issachar, the whole 12 tribes had the mindset to correct their neighbor. Yo, bro, we ain't supposed to be killing nobody, man. We can't be singing about killing, and we can't be saying we're going to put threats out on people, and then we got people on the internet saying, hey, bro, I wouldn't pull up if I was you. I ain't finna correct them either. Let them do what they going to do. That is the mindset of our people. We afraid to stand up to the people that are oppressing us and killing us. One thing we got to learn as a people, right? The police, they got bullets. The army, they got bullets. The gangs in our community got bullets. Why are we so afraid of the gangs in our community and their bullets? Why are we so afraid of them? Not realizing the gangs, they're afraid of armies. They're afraid of the army bullets. This is the thing we don't look at. What's the difference? They all got bullets. You can die from all of them. So if the mindset is I'm afraid to die from them, well, what's going on? They're afraid of somebody too. God is the judge ultimately. God is going to destroy us for doing evil. Give me Proverbs 16 and verse 4 real quick. God is going to destroy the evildoer in the last days. So if you're not correcting them, you're actually setting up all these people you claim you love for death and destruction. Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 4. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
The wicked have been made for the day of evil, meaning the day of destruction. So you might be afraid of their guns for now, but the Lord going to judge them in the end. They ain't finna live forever with the behavior they got going on. They could kill your body, but they can't kill your soul. And their soul is going to be on fire. Thus saith the Lord. Leviticus 19 and 17. Let's go back to it now. So if you loved them and you understood this is what you would say.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
Read.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
That's the problem. There's a grudge between these two cartels. That's why you can't sing about things that used to happen, because somebody's still angry. Some OG somewhere is saying, yo, if he sing that, kill him. Because of the grudges that we hold as a people. because of generational hatred we got as a people. It's the same thing with Bloods and Crips. It's the same thing with block to block. It's the same thing with family lines. Grudges are held. But God said you weren't supposed to bear a grudge or avenge it. Go ahead.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Now imagine if the cartel loved their neighbor as they love themselves. They would have a conversation. This brother wouldn't even be singing about murdering and killing because he'd say, yo, that's destruction of myself. Why would I sing about destroying people who look like me? And the cartel wouldn't be saying, I'm going to kill somebody who look like me. There'll be a whole different mentality that existed amongst the 12 tribes of Israel. And we don't got that mentality because we've fallen away from the laws of God. Let's get the article now. Let's see what Peso Pluma decided to do, man. Let's go ahead. Let's read it.
Latin artist Peso Pluma's Tijuana concert canceled after possible narco threats. The record label for Latin music star Peso Pluma has canceled his tour stop in Tijuana, Mexico, according to a social media post. This comes after threats were allegedly made against the artist.
So he ain't stupid. We can at least say Peso Pluma ain't no damn idiot. Some of our people idiots. I'm going to pull up anyway. Let them shoot me if they want to shoot me. That's how people get down. He heard the threat. He said, hold on, wait now. Hold on. They got guns for real. Let me relax. Ain't nobody going to defend me amongst my people. Micah 2-8 real quick, and we're going to come back to the article. He understood this. He looked at it. He said, hold on, wait now. These people, they kill, and they eat people. Let me stop. I'm going to pull up. Read that.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 8. Even of late, my people is risen up as an enemy.
So even as of late, our own people have risen up as an enemy against us. That's what we see today on the earth. Read.
Ye pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely, as men averse.
The security wasn't going to be able to help him. The man that was chilling, he think he going to pass by securely. He said, nah, we're going to pull off your garment, bruh. We're going to beat you down and take from you and kill you. He knew. He said, I can't bring no security in here that's going to be able to help me. It's going to be a wrap if I pull up in here. Because of how much hatred we have for each other as a people. It's documented in the Bible. Go ahead.
As men averse from war.
As men of war. We treat each other like we fighting a war against each other, not realizing we all in poverty and oppression. And the only way to get out of it is to keep God's law, statutes, and commandments. Jump back to the article now. Let's keep reading.
3 threatening messages showed up in various areas of Baja California on September 12th, directed at the Latin musician, according to reports. The messages were potentially connected to organized crime and hinted at violence if he showed up for the Tijuana concert. The messages prompted an investigation from the Baja California government, and Tijuana Mayor Montserrat Caballero said the city would determine whether or not to move forward with the event.
He said, I'm not coming. You ain't got to make no decision. I'm out. Go ahead. Keep scrolling down. Yep, right there.
But Peso Pluma's team did not wait for the mayor to make a decision.
Peso Pluma team said, hell nah. Hell nah, we ain't pulling up over there. No. No. That no is the same in English and Spanish. My man said no. Go ahead.
On Wednesday, Double P Records, the artist's own record label, posted on its Instagram stories that the show on October 14th at Estado Caliente would be canceled for the safety of everyone involved. The message read in Spanish. Peso Pluma reshared the post on his Instagram story. The post did not confirm if the cancellation was tied to the threats, and it was not immediately clear if the show would be rescheduled or if ticket holders would be refunded.
So we can stop there, right? Now, give me 2 Timothy 3 and verse 1. See, what we're looking at is the evil that we've come to as a people. See, if everyone in the nation of Israel boycotted this type of music and this spirit, then this stuff couldn't thrive. You wouldn't have had no cartels, right? You had people saying, you know what, we're gonna stand up to y'all. Y'all wicked. Y'all not doing the right thing. We're going to keep the laws of God, and do what the Bible actually says. We're going to come back to being the 12 tribes of Israel, the tribe of Issachar. This is what got to happen in these last days in order to stop foolishness like this. Because they got news articles of us killing each other. That's the news article. Yo, look at them. These Negroes want to kill themselves, right? Y'all niggas too. You are niggas too. That's what I'm telling you, Issachar. Don't think you're not. You black. And this is black behavior right here. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves,
That's what the Bible says. You're going to be a lover of your own self. Go ahead.
covetous,
Covetous. That's why they want to kill each other. Because one wants more money than the other. One wants more status than the other. Go ahead.
boasters,
That's what's going on. They're boasting about their crimes and what they've done. I want to boast about my crimes more than your crimes. Go ahead.
proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection.
That is the mindset of our people right there. We have no natural affection. We don't look at our brothers and say, damn, he came up the same way I came up. He grew up in Mexico and life was hard for him, and now he's making it. But we want to knock him off because of what he's saying. We want to kill him. We want to rap about violence, right? Again, both sides of this is wrong. Both sides of this is wrong. But what you got to understand is Tijuana is going to profit off of that. San Diego is going to profit off of that. You think he was going to party all night in Tijuana? He's going to be in San Diego. He's going to do some events all around the city. Everywhere is going to profit off of the destruction of our people, whether he live or he die. This promoter's going, oh, well, he not coming? All right, cool. I just, I cancel this club event. Or the promoter said, shoot, he can have a club event. If he dies, he dies. I'm going to get paid either way. I'm going to leave about maybe like 12 o'clock. I ain't going to stay here all night. I know they're going to shoot each other up. Let me get out of here with my check. This is the thing that happens to our people over and over again. You see rapper dead, rapper dead. I think another Mexican rapper just got shot the other day. These are the type of things that are going on amongst our people, and we got to address it so that we can come out of this mindset of not having natural affection. Last scripture, let's go to Hosea chapter 4 and start at verse 1. I think that's what I want. Hosea 4 and verse 1.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
Yep.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy.
There's no what?
Because there is no truth, nor mercy.
There's no truth nor mercy amongst us as a people. Nobody can have a conversation. It goes straight to you going to die. Don't pull up. Go ahead.
Nor knowledge of God in the land.
And that's the reason we don't have that truth or mercy, because we don't know who we are. We don't know that we should be keeping God's commandments and that this Bible is for the Mexican man. But he got to change his mentality and his nationality and his mindset to being Issachar. That's who he got to become in these last days. Not Mexican, right? Not Mexican. I know you start as a Mexican, but you need to end as Issachar. Go ahead.
By swearing and lying and killing.
And what?
And killing.
Read.
And stealing and committing adultery. They break out. And blood toucheth blood.
That's what's going to happen amongst our people if we can't come back to this Bible. Blood is going to touch blood if we don't learn thou shalt not kill. This is the wickedness that we see again. People profiting off of us having this mentality to kill each other. It's happening amongst the northern kingdom just like it's happening against the southern kingdom. That's what we're looking at right here. And we got to bring this out so our people understand the only way to get out of this situation is to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word